Hi, I'm Tressie Gerbic. I am here at Susan's house, my daughter, and we were looking at our quilts that we made, see who they belong to, and I have a wedding ring quilt out here. It's made out of all kinds of scraps that I was given, and I don't know who the yellow was from, but I think it's awfully pretty. I like the colors.
The purple.
I have one quilt here, pattern, purple stripes, and that's from my dress that I made for myself. And I still have the dress. I will wear it some of these days when it gets warm. I don't know what all these scraps, where they came from, but they were given to me, or I just can't remember who gave them to me.
Is this, when did you make this quilt?
I made it about 10 years ago. And I enjoyed making this quilt. I've always wanted to make a wedding ring quilt, and I did.
Would you say this is kind of a complicated quilt compared to some of the others you made, or one of the easier type?
Well, it wasn't as complicated as I thought it would be. Putting those points together was not as complicated as I thought they would be. Going round in circles. But that's okay.
Was this one of the last quilts you made?
This is one of the last quilts I made. I'm not sure if it was the last, but it was one of the last ones, and I want to keep it because it was mine. I made it. I don't know who this yellow scrap was from, but it reminds me of Lucy. So Tressie Gerbic.
And this is Susan's favorite quilt. I love this quilt since I was a little girl. How old is this quilt, Mom?
Well, I made it when I was way back there, young.
In Arkansas?
Yes, I think I made it pieced it in Arkansas.
And this is before you were married?
Yes.
And it's the boy quilt. And maybe that's why I like it so much, because it reminds me of a young girl, you know, just writing all her boyfriends or boys' names. And this has got boys' names all over it. Was that common to do something like that?
No.
No? So what made you want to make a quilt with boys' names all over it?
Well, that's, I think it has some girls' names in here, too.
I don't see no girls' names. Let's talk about some of these names and some of this quilt and who these people are. Can you show me some people's names?
C-H-A-M-O-I-S. I don't know who that is. Chamas, must be Bone. And this is
Dalton? S.
Dayton.
Dalton? D-A-L-T-O-N?
And I don't know who that is.
Did you just have to make up some boys' names? So that
no, I didn't. I knew these boys.
Okay, so who are they? Here's Jimmy D.
Jimmy Davidson.
Uh-huh.
And Jimmy T.S.
Uh-huh.
Kenneth Croft.
No, that's F.
Kenneth. I don't know.
Here's Rayborn.
Rayburn Bone.
That's a cousin.
No, that is a neighbor.
Okay. Tom H.
Tom H.
And Conway A.
Conway A. Well, that has to be Conway Dale.
Your brother.
Yeah.
Theodore A.
I don't know.
Billy S.
I don't know who that is.
Robert N.W. Leonard M. Leonard M. Darveen Q. William W. Neil M. Harvey A. Are these boys that you went to school with, or are these boys that were neighbors, or, well, I guess if they're neighbors.
Well, I went to school with most of them. And that's Harvey Arn and Roy Westmoreland.
That was a neighbor. So, what inspired you to do a quilt on boys' names? Otto Rush.
Vern C. Carpenter. I went to school with him. Otto Rush, that's my cousin. Howard Mosier.
Were any of these particular boyfriends?
Roy W. was my boyfriend.
Ooh, a little romance. What happened with that?
Well, it come to a close.
All good things must end, huh?
That's right.
And I think Rayburn wasn't he?
Rayburn Bone was a neighbor.
That wasn't a boyfriend?
Mm-mm.
Bert W. Monty Ray C.
Ray, that was a friend.
Vaughn D.
McGahey.
Another friend from school.
Yeah.
Shell B.
Who?
Everett C. Shellb. Nelson B.
Nelson Bone, he was a neighbor.
J.W. Dover.
He was from school.
Conway D. Well, that's your brother.
Dale.
Doss Dale, that's your brother.
Yeah.
Curtis Dale and Van Dale. Those are all your brothers right there in the corner. Yeah. Here, pull it up. Let's see. Earl G.B.
G.B.
Oh, what's this is? Looks like a G. Ray Davis. Henry B. Ray Rush. That's a cousin.
Yeah.
Ed Foster. This is like a little
friend.
Jean England.
That's a cousin.
Adrian Martin. Marlin. What kind of quilt is this called? There's another Marlin.
Ethel Marlin.
Who was that? Ken.
That's a friend.
Ken C.
I went to school with him.
Bernard Lee.
Bernard Lee. That's
Who's RAF?
I don't know. Forgot.
Oh. Theodore A. So, is this kind of quilt a special kind of quilt? What did you call this kind of quilt?
Well, this was I call it a name quilt.
Yeah, but does it have a style or special fabric that you used?
No.
Or nothing special? Just a boy named quilt. This is my favorite. Because it reminds me of when you must have been a young girl. And I just have always thought that's just the funniest thing, because it makes me think of what you were like when you were young. Precocious and troublemaker Tressie.
That's me.
Okay, we're going to move on to another quilt. Okay?
Well, where we get all this?
Okay.